Well, hello and welcome to a brand new project that I am tentatively calling The Road to Release. It's the beginning of January 2023, and I thought, why not start the new year with a new project? And so I'm going to do something this year that I promised myself I would never attempt again, and that is to actually record and edit and mix and release hopefully an EP's worth, maybe an album's worth of music, simply from the comfort of my own home, this own space primarily. The challenge being that this is not a great space to work in, that I have a limited amount of gear to work with, I have a limited amount of skills to apply to this, and I have a budget of exactly about $0. So how does that work, and why am I going to do this? Two reasons really. Firstly, because I don't have another option. I have a heap of material that I've written over the years, over the last couple of years, and basically I'd really love to get it out there. But I don't have any money sitting around to try and pour into studio time and hiring session musicians and producers and that kind of thing. So basically, I'm going to use the skills I have to apply to this. Secondly, the reason I'm doing this is because I have tried many times to record from home in the past and never successfully. Always been frustrated with the whole process and disappointed with what I can kind of make here and the sounds I can produce. But I feel like if I put something out there into a public space, like these series of videos, that this is kind of more about accountability, that if there's publicly I've kind of proclaimed that I'm going to do this thing, then I'm more likely to actually follow through with it. And so that's why I want to make these videos. I'm not an expert in the fields of sound production or recording or anything like that. So it's not like I'm trying to impart all of my wisdom and superior knowledge about these things to you, but basically I just want to put this out there as an accountability thing, so that I will actually finish this thing that I've never been able to do before. So I know there's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to have to address in order to do it. I know that this kind of room I'm sitting in right now, which will be the primary room for recording and mixing, is not acoustically great. I'm gonna have to deal with that. It's also not aesthetically great. Doesn't kind of have the greatest vibe to work in. I haven't got any fancy lighting to make it kind of feel kind of vibey or anything like that. And so I'm gonna have to work with that. I know the gear I've got is limited. It's not like top end kind of gear or anything like that. I'm going to see if maybe I can borrow some decent microphones, and I do have a few microphones which I'll run through. I've always felt very limited by my equipment, even my guitars that I use. You can see in the background of my video there's a whole bunch of guitars there, but don't let those fool you, because pretty much none of those work. They're all in various stages of restoration or disrepair. I picked them up at garage sales and stuff. My skill set is, I don't know, I just don't have that knack for studio kind of recording and production like I know some people do. There are friends that I have who they know what to listen for, and they know exactly what they need to do in order to kind of fix or to produce the sound that they want, and I don't have that. So I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and YouTubers about it in the past, and I'm going to try and apply some of those skills. Over the process of this, I know I'm going to make a whole heap of mistakes, and if there are people watching and you know what you're doing, then most likely you're going to kind of judge me pretty harshly, because I'll be doing some things, probably really wrong. So if you would like to be part of this and comment and actually have input, that would be fantastic. Love to do that. If this is something you've been thinking about doing yourself in the past and have always felt like you're limited by the gear you have or whatever, then maybe you can come along and see what I'm able to do here, and maybe you can do something similar yourself. Or maybe you're just one of those people who somehow ends up in a rabbit trail of YouTube videos, and this is one that you ended up, you started out looking up how to do your own makeup or something, and here we are making an EP. I don't know. Yeah, here we are. This is what I'm looking to do. So I'll be making a couple of videos first just about what I see as the limitations of equipment and space and skills and that kind of thing I have. I'll run you through a bit of the gear that I do have, so that you can see what I'm working with. And I might even record a couple of just raw tracks, just to show you the songs that I'm wanting to take from raw state to kind of completion, and give you a couple of ideas about what I want to do with the project in the future. But for now, thank you for watching along if you've been watching this video. And hopefully you can kind of come along with me on this journey, and we can see what we can come up with in, who knows how long. Maybe it'll be this year, maybe it'll be beyond then, maybe it'll kind of never eventuate to anything whatsoever, which is how projects that I start usually end up. So let's see how we go. But cool, thanks. I don't really know how to sign off, so I'm just going to say goodbye. I was alive, not your heels. I was the air, strove to breathe. I was